field. Okay, there are many layers before we go in the muscles. The first layer, second layer, third layer, fourth layer, fifth layer, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. Oh, that's a lot of layers, right? So it has all different muscles. That's why we have all these bumps and tubercles in order to be an origin and insertion. You guys might have already studied, but I'll just go over again. If you it's all repetition. Okay, for the scapula, there is called the spine for the scapula here. So this one is called the scapular spine. So supra and infra. So supra means up and infra means down. So this is called the supra spine natus, which means it's up and the spine of the scapula. And this one has an origin and an insertion and an innervation and an action. So let's look at it carefully. Its origin is the scapula and supraspinatus fossa, and insertion is the humerus, where the action actually does the abduction, which is greater tubercle in superior faucet. And the innervation is the C4, C6 nerve, which originates from the cervical nerve. Okay. And this is called infraspinatus, infra spine natus, okay. And this one origins from the scapula in the infraspinatus fossa. And this one actually inserts to humerus 2 in the middle faucet. So if the supraspinatus and infraspinatus, if only one exists, then the arm won't be able to stretch or move. Your upper arm limb will not move because, you know, it might be hard to move with one person rather than 2 person to move a log. It's just like a physical way how to move a log called humerus right here. Yep. So what it does here is kind of sticked here and actually moves it through like kind of like a stretching and getting shrinked right here. And it kind of like innervates here. Okay. And oh, sorry. And this one is called teres major, and this is teres minor. Sorry. Teres major and minor, these ones actually kind of have an origin and insertion in scapula and humerus. It's kind of tricky when you have tests because they actually all origin and insert in this basically the similar places, but different places in specific. So actually, for example, the supraspinatus and infraspinatus all actually insert in the humerus, but you got to be very careful in which tubercle it actually insert. It can be an exam question to make you guys strict. That is very tricky for me, and I lost a lot of marks there because it's very hard to memorize. Repetition and teres major. If you see this, this one actually does insert in humerus, but it inserts in the lesser tubercle. The crest of the lesser tubercle is very important. And it adducts and medially rotates the arm. So when you actually have an exercise rotating your shoulder, it looks like it's simple, but it actually has a lot of things to do for your muscles to do. So you're rotating your shoulder does a lot of exercise to and stretching your muscles, so it's very useful. But instead, if you do it way too much, then it will make injury to your muscles and ligaments. Okay. We will reduce one more layer. Okay. It's pretty much done for the shoulder. We have one more left. This one is called deltoid. This is the biggest muscle. It's only half shown, I guess. There is an acromion part. I haven't memorized this one, but I think it's too specific. This actually is called a shoulder muscle. This deltoid actually has multiple origins and inserts to the deltoid tuberosity here. So what it does is it flexes and medially rotates the arm. And it basically does everything what you do with your upper limb. And okay, the clavicular part, acromion part, spinal part, it actually kind of origins from many other parts. So it actually connects these three bones all together. It's a very important muscle, and it's huge. Okay, we'll go to the muscles at the upper limbs. It's a lot of contents, isn't it, everybody? Everybody okay so far? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Can I continue? Yes. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I know it's a huge amount, but once you listen and you review once again for yourself, it will be much more helpful. This one is triceps brachii, long and lateral head. So which means, okay, so you guys seen the weight trainers or the Popeye having their muscles exaggerating. This is called the triceps brachii. It's called bumps in your yeah, it's bodybuilders. Its origin and insertions are right there. So if you see close, you might see that it originates in the cricoid process here. This is called cricoid process, and it has another origin. So cricoid process and the supraglenoid tubercle. So glenoid tubercle is like a glenoid. It means it's like a faucet of your shoulder. And in radius, it actually lands on. And it lands on another place which is not a bone. And by precipito aponeurosis into a deep falciform forearm. What does this mean? It means aponeurosis. It means dead. Apo means death. Apoptosis. You guys heard of apoptosis, right? Yeah, that means so. Apo means dead. Yeah, thank you. So this part is kind of like connects the other muscles in the lower limb, lower arm actually here. And when we get back, it actually encircles a lot of muscles here. Pronator teres, flexor carpi radialis, palmaris longus, flexor digitorum superficialis. Well, the name looks very complicated, but if you know the actions, then it's not that complicated. So I'll just dissect the words here. So it means you can just word these backwards. Superficially, it moves the digits of your hands and it flexes. So it flexes your fingers. That's what this muscle, flexor digitorum superficialis. And palmaris longus. You know your palms are right there. Oh, yeah, it's exactly connected to your palms. This is called the palmar aponeurosis. Oh, you see here. So insertion is palmar aponeurosis. So what it does is actually kind of like stretches all the way to connect to your palm. So it flexes your hand and tightens palmar aponeurosis. That's why your hand can be stretched and shrinked. So its name kind of originates from its functions. Okay, here we go. Flexor carpi radialis. So it's in the radial. So it's in your thumb. It says radius, radial bone, and carpi, which means your back of your hand, and it flexes. So when you pull it, and it flexes your hand. So flexes and abducts your hand. That way, when you actually think of the action of the muscle, it's really easy to memorize. And there's a rule for this name. And flexor digitorum superficialis. And this means that it, as it really says in the name, it flexes your fingers superficially here. Okay, sorry. So flexus middle and proximus phalanges and 2 to 5th digits, flexus hand. So anatomy is like mathematics in medicine. So once you get it, you apply it to multiple fields. It's like the Latin language used in all fields of European languages. It's not actually used in medicine, but it's crucial and core. So you cannot go with anatomy. So that's why I'm taking this class very seriously. I'm making it more content because you guys are gonna save lives, right? Huge lives. You guys might save my life too. So okay, so we go back to the muscles. Okay, we'll do this one as the last tutor section. Finger muscles. These are called the Fenner muscles. So here we go. So what it does is actually moves your finger, we call thumb finger. Okay, so in Latin, the thumb is called pollis. So abductor pollicis brevis means it abducts your thumb and flexes your thumb and adducts your thumb and transversely moves your thumb. So adducts first digit toward the lateral border of the palm. So this this program, you can just get it from the Microsoft 3D pictures. You guys might have it in your app. I'll just introduce it later on. Okay. And this is called the Select the layers. One layer, two other. Okay, here we go. Mini-me, DGT mini-me, abductor DGT mini-me. Mini-me means the pinky finger, the last finger, and flexor DGT mini-me brevis. So, okay. Brevis and opponents DGT mini-me. So, opponents means opposite. So, it moves it in the opposite way. So, if you see the origins and insertions here, it's very different in the type of view of your finger. It actually kind of moves in a different way. So with that and this, you might actually see it kind of inserts in a different place. This one's similar, but for this, it kind of moves in a different way. We'll see that. Let's oppose this and rotate it. But for this, it's abducts, the H. So there are 4 types of movements: abduction, adduction, and what we call it, oppose and rotation. So, okay. This takes a lot of hours to dissect. Well, when you're actually in a real anatomical lab, you might smell formalin. It's really not good for your health. And what you do is you dissect every skin, so that you can barely see what's in here, and you have to remove these all, and it takes five hours to dissect only one hand, and you have to actually figure out which is what and what is which, and you might be able to go home when your dissection group is passed with the test. Okay, that's pretty much the introduction for it. Let's see. This one is called a special structure. It actually wraps so it doesn't get dispersed. It's called the extensor retinaculum. Well, I explained it, so you might not need a explain here. And this one is called biceps brachii. This actually is an aponeurosis right here, and it innervates flexor carpi ulnaris. Okay, this one is called flexor carpi ulnaris, which flexes an adducts hand in the ulnar region. And it inserts in the pisiform, which is in the hamate and the metacarpal base. This one I've explained. SLP, the try to catch her, and with SLP, those are the muscles, the bones in the hand. We'll take a look. Here. Oh, yep, you can exactly see where it inserts. And here we go. Here, yeah, pisiform. That's how you see. And sorry guys, this is not working well. And no, not lunate. Sorry guys, the computer resolution is not so good, so I'll just explain. Pisiform and Hamid. It's supposed to be here, so just memorize it. It's a metacarpal bone. Okay, I think I have one more left here. What time is it now? It's 4:30. Okay. Extensor carpi radialis brevis. This one is near to this radius. That is why it is called extensor carpi radialis. So what it does is extends its abducts hand. It looks kind of simple, and this kind of like originates and inserts to these turbocoves and epicondyles. Okay, and extensor digitorum is kind of like extends your digits. You might kind of imagine that if this one shrinks, then your fingers will be up, like this. Oh, that is how it's named. So it extends second to fifth digits, excluding your thumb. The innervation is radial nerve. This is not important, but it is important later on. This nerves, all the innervation comes from the brachial plexus. So I might give you the picture of the brachial plexus at the WhatsApp. It's the brachial plexus exists here, so it's cords and trunks and whatever. It kind of like is very important that it kind of predominates all the nerves here. Okay, so this is the introductory explanations. It's a lot of stuff, pretty much. Anatomy is the biggest field in basic medicine, so it might be a headache to memorize